Good morning. Well, yesterday we managed to get all of this opposite side to where I'm standing now, all nice and level, and we're really chuffed. Well, say all nice and level. There's a few bits that we got to do, and then it'll be level. So we turned the what's it called, laser level, round to have a look at this side behind me, to find out it's so far out, probably always has been. I don't know whether we said yesterday when we were recording about, in hindsight, we should have measured the floor to see how level it was. I didn't really think about doing that, thought it would probably be all right. But over on this side, what was the difference? Because you've raised them bits now.
It's about 2 centimetres higher. The back of the house is about 2 centimetres higher than the front of the house.
Yeah, so really we haven't moved the joists over that side that much, have we?
No,
we've packed a couple to get them all in line so that they're all at about the same level. We haven't done anything extreme over there to knock it out by 2.5 centimetres, have we?
No, if we were to go from the bottom of the pocket on one side of the house to the bottom of the pocket the other side of the house, the difference will be about 2.5 centimetres in level.
It's difficult to tell at the moment because Ben's packed them out with slates at the moment just to
try and do something
about it. So I'm not sure. I'll see if you can see it on the camera. Yeah, you can. No, because you've levelled them, you can't see how extreme the differences are. We've done nothing to these pockets. The wall plate is all intact, whereas on the opposite side of the room, because there's been so much water damage, the wall pocket had pretty much non-existent in a lot of the pockets. So hence why we packed a couple on the opposite side just to get them back to the level they would have been on the wall pocket, on the wall plate. But on this side, well, it's a different story. We get a few that run not too bad to each other, quite level. And
5?
You can, yeah, about 5, like these ones here. So 1, 2, where's my finger? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're relatively in level. Take away the slates and they're still in level with each other. And then you can actually see it on the camera, and then they jump up a little bit.
So there.
They jump up quite a lot.
And so that's the bottom.
That's where the wall plate is. It sits on the wall plate.
Is where it was.
Yeah, they are where the original joists lived. And then you come over further.
Which one drops down? I can't remember.
And then above the window, yeah.
Yeah, they're lower.
And
yeah,
then
that's you can physically see from where I am. That's the actual wall plate. That bit of timber there.
Yeah.
The top of that bit of wall plate.
Let me get it up a bit higher.
Is just higher than the top of that bit of wall plate.
Yeah. So really, when you're looking at it, excuse the slates, and really the joists are in exactly the same place as the original joist. So the floor was probably this far out anyway.
Being built.
But that doesn't help us level this, because
how many options did we have? Was it?
Oh, we've had so many.
Is it 3 options we've got to have a level floor?
We got one option of cut bits of wall plate out, which we don't particularly want to do. I don't think it's completely structural, but the fact that we don't know what stones lie beneath, we don't know the size, or
is it just lime?
Is it just lime? Is it bits of rubble? So we can't trust the fact that if we cut out lots of these little bits of, it seems to be one complete timber, doesn't it? That runs across as much as possible.
Yeah.
Then they're not just individual pieces of wood in a
No,
pocket.
it is a piece of
It
timber.
goes through the whole lot, so it's not like we could take one out and it's independent of the other. So that wasn't, we ruled that out.
So yeah, making them all or as level as possible to the other side by dropping them isn't really an option because it's too much destruction. Raising them all, so what we've got at the moment, this is the back of the house, this is the front of the house. That's what we've got. It's the back of the house, front of the house, the floor's running down. 2.5 centimetres over 5 metres, you don't really notice, and we were gonna go, we'll put the boards down, we'll see if we can notice it.
Because we were going to go, we'll pretend we didn't have a laser level because the spirit level says they're level.
Yeah.
So yeah, we were going to go with that, but then it just plays on your mind and you know that it's not level.
So we came to level these ones to then realise that they come along and jump up and drop down and jump up. So we can't even level these easily without raising the higher side higher still. The third option, we're going for the second option. We're going for that option to see what it looks like. The third option will give us a perfectly flat level floor, but it comes at cost of having to buy all of the joists a second time to then put up against the side of each joist.
Parallel, like as if you were doing a massive sister.
We attach it the full width, and then we level that new joist as needed, which would give us a perfectly flat floor and level floor, which may happen in the future if option 2 still looks wonky.
Yeah, and you might think, why can't you level the opposite side? For exactly the same reasons as why we don't want to start cutting into the wall
And
plate.
going down.
We don't want to start going too high into the stones above.
And going
because
up.
we don't know what's there, and they all sit together to make a solid wall. If you start taking random bits out here and there, we're a little bit concerned we're going to start to cause a landslide, if you like, that kind of
You look
action.
at under the windows, which I think we pointed out before, all of those stones are now completely loose. So the windowsill's trying to collapse in on itself. So if we start doing little bits and pieces like that, what else is going to start collapsing in on itself?
Yeah, so we're a little bit...
So we're going with option 2. We think it originally had a wonky, it must have had a wonky floor because it's the whole side of the house is high. If it was 1 or 2 pockets, you'd think, okay, they're dodgy pockets, but this is the whole side of the house.
Yeah, and if you get... I don't know if I can make the camera go up. When you look at the wall plate in line, I'm not going to be able to do it, I don't think. You can see the difference. You might be able to get to show it. From the low one.
Grab the level.
It was just to show the edge of the wall plate being intact.
Yeah, so there's one there. That's a good one.
I meant here, because you've got 2 dropped ones and then you've got the really high one right where your head is now.
That's on the wall plate.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't get in. But yeah, that's...
No, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you can't... Sorry, my head was in the way.
You'd have to take the slates out so that you can see
you
the
can't
wall
really
plate
see the wall
and see
plates.
the difference in height.
That's the top of the wall plate just there. Without moving the camera, that wall plate is higher. And so, yeah, it's hard to see.
Yeah, but that sort of shows that it was originally like this. So it's nothing that we've done or haven't done. We've replaced with exactly the same depth of joist.
So the back of the house sits higher than the front of the house, which means the floor slope.
Think. What do you think from?
So, oh yeah, it's much better.
Still not properly straight, is it? But
no, it's more than it was though. But that's a bit longer than it was before. A little bit too tall, a little bit too short.
yeah. So it's come down to, I think I might refer to it from now on as our nemesis, the fireplace bit, the hearth. We've come up with a plan. We don't know if it's going to be a great plan or not, but we've gone over different ways that we could do it. Each one discounted, but this is our plan. I'm going to go up the ladder and I'll show you what I mean. We dropped the acro props briefly so that we could try and get the old timber out, because a lot of it's rotten, woodworm. We've got out some of it. There's a couple of pieces left that are embedded into the stone, the cement, and there's no play on them. So to start wiggling them about, we didn't fancy it, because then we would risk maybe the whole lot coming down with the side of the chimney breast as well. So this is going to be our plan. I will flick you round and try and talk you through it the best I can. See you in a second. Alright, so here it is, the offending article. We dropped the acro props, not fully, just wound them down very, very carefully, just to take the weight off a little bit so we could slide out the rotten timbers that were here. And then there was another one where you see this squared out bit here. There was another one that ran all the way across there. Not attached to anything, just supporting up here. There's another piece of cement there. And then you can see that timber there, which I think has snapped in the middle at some point, because that's the other end of it, and it doesn't look particularly straight unless it's snapped or it's bowed, I'm not sure. But that's not coming out easily. And there is another piece of timber behind that, and we didn't fancy messing around with that. At some point we will, but this is holding up everything at the moment. So we are, I think we've already said, going to go with boxing it back in the way it was. Got the wall hangers on, because we got the timbers cut for this running along the front, and we got the two behind us that will then come and attach on wall hangers along here. So the plan, got to try not to fall off the trestles, because just got a tiny little bit there. The plan is we cut two pieces of joist, and we got to cut some of them down as well for the two pieces, and then we got a piece of ply that will attach the two joists to, and then on top of the ply we will dollop copious amounts of lime. Seems a bit silly to put lime against cement, but at the moment this we hope will be temporary, but I didn't really want to put any more cement back in, and we're hoping that it will be strong enough. So that will go up as a single plate, and hopefully with the lime it will just squeeze all the way around these open places and sit into all of these bits and pieces. And then, because the bottom part of it will have joists on it, which will then butt up to this joist here, we will screw into that as well, and then the end of, we'll then screw this joist to it as well. I don't know if you can see in there. There is a small pocket in the very corner, and we'll make a little leg on the end of this thing we're cobbling together, and that will sit in there as well. It's not huge, it only goes back an inch or so, but it's something as a support. So that's what we're doing. Ben's outside at the moment setting up the table saw, because we need to cut the joists down so that we've got 2 equal parts of joists, because of course 2 of our joists don't fit as they are, they need cutting down. We will glue them to the ply, we will screw them to the ply, and hopefully that will be strong enough, along with them being attached to the joist that will come out of this wall plate here. And obviously, like I said, we'll attach it, we'll screw into it from this joist here. So that's where we are at the moment. We'll be really pleased to be finished with this, because all the joists really were done within 4 or 5 days of actually opening up the pockets, putting them in. It's all this messing. They're all levelled now. These are all levelled. Now we're going to end up with a slight slope. Hopefully won't notice it, but once we've done this little bit that we're doing today, we'll get some OSB down and find out if we notice it or not. But there wasn't a whole lot we could do. We think it's probably always been sloped, so other than cutting down into the big stones, which didn't really fancy doing, this is what it is. So that's where we are at the moment. Oh, and then we'll have the pockets to pack and lime as well, but that seems easy in comparison to doing this. A fending article. And then hopefully we'll leave the props up for a while for the lime to set. And hopefully that'll work. If not, we'll just build a big column. We'll maybe box the acro props in, and we'll extend it out this way a bit more. There you go. Anyway, that's where we're at.
And we want 25.5.
Is that what it was? I thought.
Yeah, that's right. And one, what did you say? 6 1/4.
6 1/4.
It's not a lot off.
Always safety first. Hard hat when you're cutting wood,
Got it.
just in case.
You never know when you're going to have falling cows. 6 1/4.
Excuse the piles of rubbish around, but that's another thing that changes once we get these finished. We get to bring our bed indoors, get rid of the tent, and we can plant a skip in the place of the tent and get rid of the rubbish.
Never end.
Here we go. Trusty old table saw. We've had this a long time, haven't we?
take into account the bevery bit.
Oh. So what is it?
A little bit wider.
A little bit more off.
It's only a fraction. That'll do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now we want another. Look at that.
Looks lovely, doesn't it? Nice. It smells like it set fire to it.
Yeah, it got hot. Needs a new blade. It's a bit
Yeah.
long. Run it a long, long time.
Yeah. And then all the brake cleaner. Not the brake cleaner. The wheel cleaner.
Wheel cleaner. That leaked on it. That didn't help.
No.
So we got those two. They should make 25.5 inches.
Okay.
12.5 inches. What have I just done?
6
The
and a
width.
quarter.
12.5.
Yeah.
Not quite. It's over. That is fraction. I wonder if we can get away with the fraction over. I might rub that.
Oh, just had a... Right. Wow, extreme close up. Right. Can you see the
Yeah.
board? The support is made in place. It's still on props at the moment. I'm just spraying this down, obviously, because you spray before you lime anyway, but really spraying that because it being wood, it's going to suck the moisture out of the lime too quickly otherwise. It's now just a case of packing in as much lime as we possibly can to bring it up to the level here. I'll put some stones in here as well and around under there. It's just going to be about just getting much lime as humanly possible in this area to hopefully make it strong all over again. I can't remember if we recorded the joists that run back and forward in here with the hanger and that one before we did this, or
yeah, not sure.
No, not sure.
And
so
if we didn't, you'll see those.
Yeah, we've got a hanger there ready to take the joist from there. So when that joist is in, once all this is done, that will be screwed from the joist into the support in various locations. It'll also be screwed in along this joist as well, into the support. I'm going to lime under the support along the top edge of the plaster just to give it a little bit more extra, and then obviously this joist that comes across there will have hangers on it with the other joist going into the wall, so that's again extra support, and the joist does sit close to the edge of that.
So all in all,
that's really, we're putting back what was there
and more by packing all the fingers crossed,
fingers crossed,
by packing all the lime up. Right.
But yeah, so that's where we are today, which means this is the last portion
of joist
going in. I was going to say we're a bit disappointed. We're not disappointed, because disappointed is the wrong word. But we seem to fly through
most bits,
getting the joists in, didn't we? It took a few days, but it went better than we expected it to, and we did it quicker than we expected to. It's all been the other bits, the levelling, getting them right, and then finally this portion that has just delayed everything. But anyway, once that's done, we'll then be looking at, got noggins to go in, the pockets will be packed,
and the floor,
and then the floor can go down. Yay!
So we can get closer to the gap in the roof.
Being able to take that down, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I'll crack on with this.
Crack on.
Oh dear. Don't know if you'll hear me over the top of the generator, but hopefully before this weekend is over, this tent will be packed away, or maybe not packed away, so it needs to dry out a little bit, but at least not here. Unfortunately, it will be replaced with a skip, but what can you do? But extremely happy about that. Ben's got a few more solar panels because we're a little bit struggling at the moment for electricity. We've got another 3 of these solid ones rather than the flexible or rigid, that's the right word. And then we'll be picking up another 3 batteries hopefully tomorrow, and with any luck we'll then have enough electricity. This is almost done. I may have made it a little bit too wet, I'm not sure, but it needs to be fairly wet to be able to get it to the back of the joist pockets. I'm just going to let that mix for a little bit longer. I'll be back in a moment. Excuse the micless recording, but I was just on my way back in and Ben popped out.
Hello.
Hello. He's got to cut noggins. And I've had a practice on this, just the one cut, but it's great. Because my job is pocket packing. And Ben's job is noggin bashing.
Yeah.
Not bashing. No, we've done the bashing. We've got more bashing to do, but and you may wonder actually why we got acro props in our workshop. Well, it rained quite heavily the other day and it sat quite nicely on the edges of the roof and bent the poles. So at the moment this is temporarily tied up just to stop it drooping back down until we can get it fixed, because we didn't want to waste any more time really in getting these joists done. Right, have you finished cutting noggins?
No.
No, one more. Oh, this is the pile of rubbish that will be going in the skip. We've kept, unfortunately we've got nowhere to keep it dry, so we're hoping they're going to be alright, but these are the old joists that are really good, solid, apart from that one there looks a bit mouldy, but I chucked some mouldy ones on top in the hope that it protected the good ones. We have the roof timbers from the outbuilding, which are a lot of woodworm damage. So yeah, unfortunately the tent will go, well not unfortunately, fortunately the tent will go, but unfortunately it will be replaced with a skip. But that's a positive thing, because then we get to get rid of the rubbish that we've accumulated whilst not being able to have a skip. Are you finished?
Yeah.
Yep. Right, I'm just going to go back up and have a look at my mix. Look at the mix, go along, I'll show you. This is our planks to stop us sinking. into the quite squashy ground, which rather lovely is under the tent. So anyway, back into here, and I can see that. Looks like that's doing alright. I've actually got some white 3.5 now, but may as well use the grey up on the bits that you can't really see, and then the white for the bits that will be on show. Right, let's turn this off. And have a look. Not bad. Might still be a little bit wet, but that's fine. And our next door neighbour, the farmer who helped take the roof down, has kindly let us borrow his cement mixer whilst we've got all this lime to mix up, which is quite handy. The paddle mixer's great, and it's great for smallish portions of it, but when it comes to mixing double what I was mixing, this is a lot easier. So we thank him for that, making our lives easier. Hello again. This is the moment of truth. We have had these in before, but now we've got this new support package. So we just hope that these joists are going to go back in. We haven't done a dry run, so this is
The dry run.
the dry run.
So in goes the bondage joist.
Yeah, it looks like it's got wearing a couple of bondage hoists. Hang on. No, it's all right, it's all right. I'm just looking at that bit. It's catching on the nail.
In.
Nope. Nearly.
I had that earlier. It's a tiny little lip in it.
Yeah.
Right, hang on.
That's it. It's
Is
in
it
there.
gone? Number
Yay!
one.
Number
So
one.
just flip
Which
you
will
upside
need-
down.
Which will need packing. It does not go up all the way to the top, no.
No.
So that needs packing under there,
Yeah.
but it's just temporarily packed.
That's fine. Number two.
Yeah, that'll get packed. And held up. Number two.
And that one.
Which one?
That one.
That one. Joist number two. Joist number two
Number two.
is in. And these are obviously get screwed and packed and joist number three, and this is where I
Now this one's only
get
been
squashed.
in. It's only been in once, I think. Oh, loads of room. It's in.
Yay! Every single joist
If you have the camera,
is in the
can-
kitchen.
there you go.
I don't know where the camera's facing. Where's it facing?
There.
Every joist. Look at that. And this is Ben's handiwork. That's our new support system. And then,
We're going to box the acro props in.
yeah, my handiwork, the line.
We won't-
We're not going to box. We're not going to box the acro props in, but we're not going to take the acro props out for a while yet, just to wait for the lime to dry a little bit more.
That'll have some big
Yeah, we're going to screw.
big structural screws
Yeah,
through the joists into the plate, so it won't go anywhere.
yeah. And that, quite proud of that. It looks quite
It
good.
looks
doesn't
really,
it?
really good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We did that.
Yeah, we did that. We worked that out and did that. So there we go. That's all of the joists. They're obviously not packed. And
Packed or
limed.
levelled yet, but
Yeah, packed, levelled, limed. They're not completely finished, but it feels like it's been a long time coming. It has been a long time coming.
I think it's 3 weeks from us starting
Yeah, I just mean how long ago we got the actual joists
Oh, forever.
delivered to the house.
Forever ago.
So yeah, it's been a long time coming. I'm going to put that onto you at the moment, and then I'll get down to, although I probably won't reach the top of that.
That looks good.
Oh, look at that. It does, doesn't it?
Pleased with that.
We can't see the camera doing this way. Shall I turn it around?
Oh, hold on. Here we go. Look at that for some hair today. There we go.
So yes, it's been a very long time coming from the joists. What are you doing?
I'm just having a tidy. I've been out doing gutters.
Okay. Yeah, it's been a long time coming to get these joists done, and no, they're not completely done yet. We've got a fair bit of
Noggins.
packing, rebuilding of that little portion over there.
Under the window.
Under the window, not the whole window, not just yet, just the pocket. Noggins, OSB, but just this. The chimney breast slowed us down
Oh,
immensely.
yeah, hugely.
Because we didn't know what to do with it. We didn't particularly want it left overhanging in mid-air really, with no supports, but that's what we've had to do for the time being. And then once we're at a stage where we can investigate the fireplace upstairs,
The bloody fireplace.
yeah, once we can investigate that a little bit more, I can't go off on tiptoes anymore, it's hurting my feet.
I don't know why you're on tiptoes, there you go.
So that was a bit more in line with
you.
you.
A little bit.
Yeah, so that's done like it's done. Not forever, or possibly forever, depending on whether that is original or not.
Yeah, which it might be.
Yeah, but there we go. That's us done with getting the joist actually into the walls.
Yeah.
So,
Don't know how long the noggins will take. Not done noggins before.
no.
But noggin, well, what we got to do?
Well, how many were we going to do?
What noggins? 5 per row.
5 per row
Yeah.
to stop the bounce, because it's quite a big room, isn't it? It's a big expanse.
Yeah. Yeah, it really bounced just with one noggin in.
They're a little bit thicker joist-wise, aren't they, than the old ones?
Five, sorry, go on.
That's right. And they're not rotten in the ends anymore.
No, it makes a difference. 5's extreme. We're going to do a centre one, 2, then equal distance between the wall and the centre. But because of the pockets being made bigger and bashed about, we're going to put some maybe 12 inches out from the wall.
Yeah.
Just to give it that extra little bit of support. We've got the timber, we've got the screws. It's just a little bit of time to add the extra noggins. Maybe a lot of time to do the noggins.
Yeah,
we don't know.
It might,
yeah.
but if it does, doesn't it? Just the fact that they're all in the walls is
yeah.
good enough.
Check the levels, noggins, OSB, check the levels,
Yeah.
line them.
Yeah. And then rinse and repeat on the other side.
Yeah. Ceiling boards from the living room, partitions down, floorboards up in the bedrooms,
Yeah.
joists out, new joists in.
Yeah. We hope it's not going to be quite as long
As this.
as this one has taken.
But
And we'll also actually got to take the panelling down in the hall just
Oh,
to
yeah,
double
to have
check
a
on
look.
the joist there, just
Yeah.
in case they need replacing. We don't think they do, but on the landing by the front window, the floorboards are a little bit woodworm eaten, so there's a possibility. So rather than not have a look and just get on with the living room, we thought, whilst we're ordering more joists, we may as well check those as well,
Yeah,
and then we know.
and get that done.
Yeah. Fingers crossed, there's nothing wrong with them. So we don't need to get any new ones of those, and then we don't have to mess around with the hall. But we have got to take the panelling down when we do the living room so that we know.
And with our luck,
we need to order for those as well.
we can cross both lots of fingers and it won't make any difference.
Ooh.
We'll see.
Oh, I've worked hard too. I've worked too hard. I can't cross my fingers. Oh no, what's happening? Right, I've got to take my gloves off to try.
Just cross a few fingers.
Oh,
there we go.
I can't cross my fingers.
No,
What's happened?
It's your age.
I've got a bit of arthritis in my fingers, and it just, as the day goes on, it hurts more and more.
Worse.
Yeah. So you don't need to know about my knobbly, bony fingers.
But I'll leave it in anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's, hopefully you won't see any more joist videos after this one. We'll do noggins.
What? Not even? Oh, I see. For this room, I was going to say, well, we're just not going to record the living room.
No, just no more.
We're just going to do it and not do it.
All the
No
noggins.
videos.
Yeah, no full series. Yeah, whatever. I don't know.
You got to do at least some for the noggins.
We'll do noggins and liming and OSB. Yeah, there'll be probably 2 or 3 more.
So it's Friday night at whatever time it is, getting on 6.
Yeah.
We've just finished. We thought it was 4 o'clock. We've had no lunch, well, we've had no breakfast, no dinner, but we thought it was 4 o'clock because the clock told us it was 4 o'clock. It isn't, it's nearly 6. So we got a whole tub of that still in the lime, and we don't want it to go off so that we have to make some more. So Ben came up with this ingenious idea. We're hoping it's going to work. This is lime. It's in a sucky bag, and we hope it will work so that tomorrow morning we can open that, and instead of, I was going to say wasting an hour mixing some more up, it's not wasting, but it delays you. So rather than get rid of this and make some more tomorrow, we're going to do that. We will let you know how it goes. From the crinkling of the bag I hear now,
Not good.
not good, because it seems to be losing its suckiness. So there might not be an update. We'll see. Happy Friday. Hello. Right. Well, we're almost done on the joist. We got 3 more pockets left to do. I'll turn you around in a moment and you can see them. So I'm just doing the last 3 pockets. Got 2 on this side and 1 over there, that one in the corner, to finish off. Noggins are all in and done, and from up on this ladder it still surprisingly looks very straight. I'll turn you around and have a look. It looks very level. Look at that, a whole floor. So yeah, today will be these last few pockets to be filled, and then the OSB will be going down, and then we'll be getting the bed in finally, which is just as well because I think it's going to rain for the next few days, so it's just in time really. We was hoping that we'd get this done on Friday, and then it looked increasingly like we wouldn't get it finished, so Saturday we thought we'd get it done Saturday, and then rinse and repeat. Happened again yesterday. We thought we'd get in yesterday, it didn't quite get there, but today is Monday and it is going to happen today. We will have a bed inside of a house today. So I will turn you around and you get to watch me slap loads of stuff in these pockets, get them finished, and then we can get the OSB down. So that's the two done on this side, and then I've got this one behind me in the corner, which could be a bit awkward. A bit more awkward than usual. And then the very back side of this one here. Stuff. It's been a long time coming. This has taken far longer than I anticipated. I don't know if it's our inexperience or what, but the filling of the pocket seems to have taken an absolute age, and we will be glad when it's done. Right, so that's all 3 pockets done. Tiny little weeny bit up there, but you won't be able to see it anyway because it's at a weird angle. So that's it really. That is it, isn't it? That's the...
Yeah.
That's the joists done.
Yeah.
That's the joist done, the noggins done, the pockets packed, the joists are done. I just had the realisation that that is it. That's the joist done. Yeah. It's the joist done. The OSB isn't down, but that isn't part of the joist. The joists are done. Cannot take that away. They are done. So if you've got to the end of watching us with the joist debacle, thank you. And we're sorted. And we'll have a bed later in the house. Bye-bye. And that is us. We did it.
Oh,
we did it.
This is becoming a thing, isn't it? Messy hair.
Messy hair. Messy hair and unshaven. Yeah, I know. But yes, this is it. We are chuffed to bits. Absolutely shattered.
We are buggered.
We are shattered.
We really are buggered.
Not so much muscle aching, joints. I think that's, or are you muscle aching as well?
I think all of it.
I'm not too bad muscle wise, but it's my joints that hurt. But I think that's our age.
Yeah.
I think if we'd have been late 20s, early 30s, probably wouldn't be hurting anywhere near as much.
But I expect after 3 weeks of Joyce videos, you lot are hurting as well. So thank you ever so much for sticking with us, and we'll do something different for our next video before we do joists
again
in the living room.
Well, hopefully we'll be quicker the next time, so you won't have to endure quite as many weird videos. But thanks for watching
very much,
and we'll see you again very soon.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Oh, that hurt.